Welcome to Travel with Sean. I'm Sean, and today we are in Venice, Italy, the last stop on our journey through Italy. And I would like to share with you a few tips that may help you on your journey, your trip to Italy. First, I'd like to share with you the itinerary that we came up with. First, we flew into Rome, looked around that city, went down to Naples. From Naples, we took a trip over to Pompeii, just outside of Naples. Then we took a train up north of Rome to Pisa. From there, we went east to Bologna. We made Bologna our home base for a few days and took day trips to Florence, to Milan, to San Marino. Then we took a train up to Venice. Now we're in Venice at our last stop, and from here we will fly back home. Looking back on this itinerary and our trip, it would have been better to fly into Naples and then leave from Venice, or fly into Venice and leave from Naples. But an alternative would have been to fly into Rome and then, because we can't check in to the Airbnb or hotel till 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and the plane usually arrives in the morning, it'd be good to use that opportunity to take a train down to Naples. Then from there, it would have been better to work our way north. Now let's talk about transportation, going from one city to another. In Italy, the easiest way is by train. It's also a very popular method. Landing in the airport in Rome, if that is the option you choose, I recommend taking the Leonardo Express into the city to Termini Station. It's a non-stop train. From Termini Station, then you can take a train to any city in Italy that you desire. For me, that would mean going down to Naples. Now, there are two main types of train in Italy: the regional train and the high speed rail. The regional train costs about 25% of the ticket price for high speed rail. Huge savings, but it also takes about twice as long. If that's the option you decide to go, there are also some things to consider with that. There are no seat assignments on the regional trains, and because they are much cheaper than the high speed rail, they're more popular too. So that means seating is first come, first served, and a lot of people riding the train. You may find yourself without a seat. If the train is 2 levels or 3 levels, you might have the opportunity to sit on stairs. Otherwise, you'll find yourself standing until a seat comes open that you can take. Now, when you're traveling on a train between cities, you're likely to have luggage with you. On the regional train, luggage space is only big enough for a backpack or small carry-on. So for that reason, you may find people sitting in seats or standing, holding their luggage in the aisle. There doesn't seem to be any policy about that because it's quite common. You also frequently have to stop at least once to change trains when you're riding the regional train. And if it's a common vacation time, popular vacation time, or if it's a holiday weekend, you're going to find a lot of people traveling. It's going to be packed. and it'll be hard to get around on the train. Speaking of crowded trains, use extreme caution when riding a train, whether the regional train or in a city metro, that is crowded. Also use caution in crowded train stations when you're on the platform waiting for your train or about to enter your train. Pickpockets target these areas as well as popular tourist stops. And in these crowded areas, they use this as an opportunity to disorient you and distract you. A typical method that they use is by pushing. So you may feel somebody pushing you from behind, and then somebody pushing you from other directions at the same time. And all of this throws you off balance. You let your guard down and you're distracted. And because of the pressure on different parts of your body, you don't notice the pressure of their hand going in your pocket. Even your front pocket, you won't notice it. Because of this risk, it's good to take a picture of everybody's passport in your party, your travel party. Maybe even keep a paper copy with you. But also, only carry a few euros that you will need in situations that you can't use a credit card. I recommend carrying only one credit card with you on your person as you travel around. Keep the other locked up in your hotel room or your Airbnb. Also, you should have a contactless option for using your credit card on your phone. Now let's talk about the high-speed trains. As I said, they are more expensive, 3 times the price of the regional trains. But there are two major advantages if you feel you can afford it, if this makes it worth it for you. These advantages are one, of course, the time, the speed, twice as fast as the regional trains. You get to your destination twice as early. And the other major benefit, the other major advantage of the high speed train is that they have assigned seating. So you're guaranteed a place to sit, and you will know exactly where you're sitting. And if you're traveling with somebody, riding on this train with somebody else, there's a good chance that you will get to sit together. Another major advantage to the high speed train is there is plenty of luggage space. The overhead compartment for storing luggage is big enough for a small bag or a medium sized bag. If you have a large bag that is too big for that, there tends to be space for one large suitcase between the seats. And each car also has a designated luggage area if you still need room for your luggage. It's recommended that you buy your ticket online in advance. It's recommended because it's a savings. But if that doesn't work for you, there is the option of buying your ticket in advance or same day at a kiosk or at a ticket office in the train station. In Venice, there are three main modes of transportation to get around the city. One is walking. You can walk from place to place, but keep in mind, most of the bridges over the canals, and there are a lot of canals, most of the bridges have steps to climb. Some have a ramp. Another way is to take a water taxi from place to place. Another way is to take a bus. And Venice has two types of buses. They have a land bus, which mostly just takes you to the mainland part of the city. But they also have a water bus that takes you around the Grand Canal to the major points and also will take you out to the Lido Island. Going between cities to or from Venice, there's also a train station, Venezia Santa Lucia, but there is not a metro in this part of the city. So again, it is bus, water taxi, or on foot. And a 24-hour pass that is good for all public transportation will cost you 25 euros. Worth it. Now let's talk about food in Italy. Yes, people have ideas about Italian food, but that's not what we're going to talk about. I want to talk to you a little bit about eating out in Italy. First of all, when you go to a restaurant and you take a seat, you're charged a seating fee for sitting at a table to eat in an Italian restaurant. This fee ranges anywhere from €1 to maybe €3 per person at your table. Um, this is in addition to your food that you order. Now, many restaurants in America, they will ask you if you want some water. And if you do, they'll pour you a glass of water. In Italy, if you want some water to drink, they will bring you a bottle of water that you will purchase. And when you sit at a table in a restaurant, they expect you to order a drink with your meal. But it is extra. If you order a coffee, they will bring you an espresso. If you want an American style cup of coffee, you ask for an Americano, and they will bring you an American sized coffee mug with a shot of espresso in it. And they will add hot water. Or they'll bring you this cup of espresso with a little pitcher of hot water for you to add. So, in other words, in Italy, an Americano coffee is an espresso with hot water. If you want a latte, you have to ask for a macchiato. And if you ask for a latte, latte is the Italian word for milk. So that's what they'll bring you, is a glass of milk. If you want to go to the museums in Italy, the popular museums, for example, the Vatican Museums, or in Florence, the Academy Museum, where Michelangelo's David is. These are really popular. So you'll need to buy your tickets online months in advance. I recommend at least 2 months in advance, perhaps more than that. If you do not do this, you can wait in line to buy a ticket, but you're going to be waiting in line for several hours, maybe up to 5 hours or more. And then there's no guarantee that you will even get a ticket to get in. Another option that may be available to you if you don't wait to the last moment is to pay for a skip the line tour. In some cases, there is also what they call hosting, where they don't give you a tour, but you pay for the service of getting a ticket and being escorted in, skipping the line. But for example, with the Vatican Museum, you pay a lot more. For example, with the Vatican Museum, the ticket is only 15 euros to get in. But if you pay for the skip the line tour or skip the line hosting, you're going to pay at least 50 euros to get in per person, whereas the ticket alone is 15 euros per person. If you want to go to St. Peter's Basilica, there is no ticket, and it's free entry, but you have to wait in line. If you go there early, early in the morning, that will minimize your wait in line to about 1 hour to maybe 1.5 hours. If you wait till later in the day, maybe midday, the line is likely to be much longer. In addition to the museums, and along the line of what I was saying with St. Peter's Basilica, if you want to see Da Vinci's Last Supper, which is painted on the dining room wall of a monastery in Milan, you cannot wait till the last minute and hope to stand in line to buy a ticket. They limit tickets per day because they limit how many people are allowed in per hour. If you want to go there, you must schedule the time of your visit, time and date of your visit, at least a couple months in advance. Even if you want to sign up for a tour, skip the line tour, the cheapest ones are sold out a month or two in advance. And the cheapest are going to cost you $70 to $80 per person, whereas the tickets themselves are, I think, between 20 and 30 euros per person. But they sell out the quickest. For a tour of Milan and the Last Supper, it will cost you over $100 per person, and they are sold out weeks in advance. And no matter what, when you get there, you're allowed like 15 minutes per person in front of the Last Supper. Now, talking about churches in Venice. No matter what church you want to go to in Italy, it's good to look at their website and learn what their hours are, when their opening hours are, and check their events schedule. For example, here in Venice, we're on Lido, and it's a Monday morning. We'd like to look inside St. Nicholas Church, where the remains of St. Nicholas are, but they're closed. They're closed on Mondays and Thursdays. Yesterday, Sunday morning, we wanted to look at St. Mark's Church, St. Mark's Basilica. But they had a special event. The Pope was visiting, and this was closed to the public. So we could not go anywhere near the church. And some churches, like St. Mark's, require you to buy a ticket in advance online for a specific time frame in order to go inside to visit the church. So a little pre-planning, especially when you only are going to be in one place for a couple days. A little pre-planning by researching the churches online will help you check off your bucket list. Now let's talk about water. It's good to carry a container, a refillable container around. And in Italy, many cities, many towns have free public water fountains where you can get a free, cool drink of water. just by stopping in and sticking your container underneath. Now let's talk about weather in Italy. It's a beautiful, sunny April day in Venice. But that's today, and that's Venice. April tends to be a cool month around Bologna and Florence. When I say cool, I'm talking in the 40s and 50s with rain, sometimes heavy rain. So you want to dress warmer. Bring a warmer sweater, bring a jacket, maybe a winter coat. Bring a hat to protect you from the rain, maybe a poncho. Because while you're there, if you're there in the springtime, it's likely to rain. And there's a good chance it will rain hard. These are just a few tips. I hope I'll help you plan your vacation to Italy, help you make the most of your journey, your time in Italy. Thank you for watching. Thank you for traveling along with me. As always, I appreciate your support. Until next time, ciao, arrivederci, bye bye.